Hello, in this video I'll be introducing you to an African play written by Frank Ogbeche, and the title of this play is Harvest of Corruption. At the end of this video I will treat the plot account of this Harvest of Corruption, and also I will treat the setting, language and style used by Frank Ogbeche to drive home the message in Harvest of Corruption. And also I will treat the themes, which means the central messages embedded in Harvest of Corruption at the end of this video. And at the day end, I will also treat the characters used by Ogbeche to drive home the messages embedded in this video. So to count everything up, I will treat past questions from SSE, especially from the 2018 past questions of SSE at the tail end of this video. Hello, in this video I'll be giving a plot account of Harvest of Corruption written by Frank Ogbeche. This is a sentimental and satirical drama. Why? Because it seeks to expose the corruption and the immorality in the society of Africa at large, and precisely Nigeria. It centers on the major character, who is a villain in this play, by the name Chief Ade Amaka Haladu. Chief Ade Amaka Haladu thinks of all this I've mentioned, this negative immorality and corruption, being a respectable official in the society. He uses his position to enrich himself, for himself and by himself alone. He uses the young men and women he employs in the ministry in which he serves as a minister of external affairs in Nigeria. He uses these young people to carry out his biddings, his whims and caprices for his own good and betterment. He employs Aloho, who is a young graduate, having graduated from the university for many years and not being able to secure a good job, gets employed in the Ministry of External Affairs through her friend, her classmate while in school, Ochole, who works for Chief Ade Amaka Haladu. Aloho is happy of the new job she has gotten, but Oge, who is her roommate and friend, warns her against of such job. 2 weeks just in the job, she's being flown to America with a briefcase unknown to her, which embodies drugs, in order to do drug trafficking and drug peddling for Chief Ade Amaka Haladu. And then she was caught by the police at the airport, and she was arrested. But fortunately for her, she was released due to the strong connection Chief Ade Haladu has in the society. She was released. But having released, she realized that she was pregnant for Chief Ade Amaka. Apparently, she has been having an affair with Chief Ade Amaka. This goes along with the fact that you can't work with Chief Ade Amaka without him being a lady, without him having an affair with you. Okay, things go south and wrong, and unfortunately for Aloho, when she tries having an abortion of the baby, but the attempt was unsuccessful. So she decides to carry the baby, but dies in childbirth while giving birth to the baby. So this brings up annoyance and vengeance from the side of Oge, being the very good and close friend of Aloho. She goes to the police and reports of the whole incidences and accompanying with the evidence she has against Chief Ade Amaka's activities, especially with Aloho. She explains everything to ACP Yakubu, who has been on the trail of Chief Ade Amaka, having heard of the 1.2 billion naira investment in the Ministry of External Affairs headed by Chief Ade Amaka Aladu. So the harvest of corruption in Chief Ade Amaka's life came too soon, with all this unraveling before his eyes, and then he was arrested and tried in the court. He was tried in the court and was found guilty. He was sentenced to 25 years imprisonment alongside his cohorts in persons of Chief Judge, the Commissioner of Police, Ochole, Madam Oha, and Ayo. All these persons were also given their own respective sentences as accomplices to the crimes of Chief Ade Amaka Aladu. So this is pretty much the plot account of Harvest of Corruption. In the next video, we'll be treating the setting, style, and language used by Frank Ogbeche to drive home the message in Harvest of Corruption. Hello, in this video, I'll be treating the setting, style, and language used by Frank Ogbeche in Harvest of Corruption. For the setting, the play is set in Nigeria. It is set in the fictitious location in Abuja of Nigeria. There are names mentioned in the play that actually suggests real life places in Abuja. There are some names as Ayokolo and Maisama. There is also Panya and Jabu, and also Aso and Zuma rocks made mention in the play. All these are actually altered names from the real names we can actually find in Abuja, Nigeria. So the play is set in the fictitious names made up by Frank Ogbeche to actually drive home the message that it was set in Nigeria and Abuja precisely. So for the style and language, the play has 8 scenes. You know, it is a play, so it's made up of acts and scenes, and it has 8 scenes and acts, and it makes use of pidgin English. The pidgin English factor comes up in the play to drive home the fact that there are some places in Nigeria that actually make use of this sort of language, which is called pidgin English. You tend to see this language used by the market women, especially when Alowo and Ogei goes to the market to buy stuff from the market sellers. So it made use of pidgin English language to drive home the fact that these are local languages used by Nigerians. And also it made use of irony. Chief Alowo and Ochole are ironical in this play, in the sense that Chief paints himself as a good and upright official in the society, whereas he does all sorts of atrocities namely like drug peddling. He does human trafficking, and he's so corrupt he embezzles money in his Ministry of the External Affairs in Nigeria. And also another style used by Frank Ogbeche is conflict. There is conflict between Alowo and Ogehi. The conflict that Alowo, being a once good and upright Christian, backslided, and then she actually got the result of her backsliding. And then the upright nature of Ogehi, who is a very devoted Christian, and actually she is unwavering in her faith. So this is pretty much the setting, style, and language used by Frank Ogbeche in Harvest of Corruption. In the next video, we'll be treating the themes embedded in Harvest of Corruption. Hello, in this video, I'll be treating the themes embedded in Harvest of Corruption by Frank Ogbeche. And the themes that I would like to discuss are 9 in numbers. The first one on my list is unemployment. Unemployment is so paramount in this play that you see it through the life and the actions of Ogeyi and Aloho precisely. Aloho, having left the school for many years, she has been looking for a job but to no avail. She has been unemployed, and that actually gives her concerns as a person, and with this the unemployment rate in Nigeria actually made her to make the wrong choice by working for Chief Aladu in the Ministry of External Affairs. So it actually tells us that unemployment can actually bring about disadvantages and wrong actions from the citizens. Another thing, the second thing is greed and avarice. This is seen in the life of Chief Ade Amaka, and also Ochole. They are so greedy that haven't gotten the wealth and riches that they've gotten from their dubious acts. They also want to keep getting more and more and more by embezzling and having the corrupt activities that they do in order to get the money. So they are so greedy, and they do things without checking out the consequences, but they actually got what came to them. Another thing is sexual immorality. This is seen in the life of Chief Ade Amaka Aladu. He's so sexual immoral that he has affairs with any woman that comes in contact with him, any woman that works with him, from Ochwele, who is his personal assistant, to Aloho, who actually started working with him not so long, and then he had an affair with her. He's so sexual immoral that he can have affairs with ladies in his office without having this moral consciousness in his life. Another thing is drug trafficking. Drug trafficking is seen in the life of Chief Ade Amaka. That's one of his ways of getting illegal money. He traffics drugs through these young men and women who choose to work for him in order to earn a living. He traffics this drug unknown to these young men and women, especially the life of Aloho. Actually, Aloho thought she was going for a business trip to America, but didn't know that she was a drug peddler in the hands of Chief Ade Amaka Aladu. Another thing is embezzlement. This is so paramount in the play Harvest of Corruption, that officials of Nigerians, officials and who hold serious positions in the government sphere, embezzle money. This was seen in the life of Chief Ade Amaka Aladu, who embezzled the 1.2 billion naira in his ministry, the Ministry of External Affairs. This is so typical of Nigerian officials. They embezzle money. So it is a thing that goes a long way in this play, whereby we know that officials actually embezzle money. Another thing is bribery. This is seen in the lives of officials in Nigerians, especially Chief Ade Amaka Aladu, who actually goes scot-free from his crimes he commits. Especially when you see the action of Aloho. Aloho was caught by police at the airport trafficking drugs unknowingly to her, but was released later by the connections of Chief Ade Amaka, having bribed the chief judge in the country. Another thing is patriotism. Patriotism is seen in the life of ACP Yakubu. ACP Yakubu, who is a devoted police officer and detective who wants justice for all the misgivings and happenings in the country. So he is a patriotic citizen. And also the life of Ogeyi, she is also patriotic. She actually gave evidences to put Chief Ade Amaka Aladu behind bars. Another thing is friendship. This is seen the life of Ochole and Ogeyi. They are so taken by themselves that they love each other. Ogeyi can go the length of helping her friend Aloho, and Aloho on the other hand also likes her friend Ogeyi. It was out of this friendship that made Ogeyi to accept Aloho to come squat with her in her apartment while looking for a job. Another theme, and the last one, is faith and steadfastness. This is seen in the life of Ogi. Ogi has, her faith is so steadfast in Christ and in Christianity that despite the challenges she faces and the opposite behavior of Aloho, she's still steadfast to her Christian life, and also does what is expected of her as a Christian. Her faith is so strong in God that it is unwavering. So these are pretty much the themes embedded in Harvest of Corruption. In the next video, we will treat the characters in Harvest of Corruption. Hello, in this video I will be treating the characters used by Frank Ogbeche in his book Harvest of Corruption, and there are 9 in number. The first on the list is Chief Ade Amaka Haladu. Chief Ade Amaka Haladu is the antagonist in the play. He is the agent of darkness, and he is the minister of the external affairs in Nigeria, which the play is set in. He is a drug baron, a sexual immoral official of the government. He represents the 3 tribes in Nigeria, which gives about his name: Chief Ade for Yoruba, Amaka for Igbo, and Haladu represents the the Hausa tribe in Nigeria. He is the antagonist of the play that actually sets the whole motion and the actions into play in the drama. Another character, which is the second one, is Aloho. Aloho is a university graduate who seeks employment in a responsible and reputable company. Having graduated from university for years, she's still unemployed. So she's sad and seeks to be employed in a company. Aloho represents the unemployed graduate sphere in Nigeria that actually graduates and then and fails to get the job in which they seek to achieve their aspiration and goals in life. She is a devoted Christian in Christianity and a born-again friend of Ogei. Another character is Ochole. Ochole is the evil genius in the play. She is the right-hand assistant to Chief Ade Amaka in the play. She goes about with the duties and biddings, whims and caprices of Chief Ade Amaka. She reaps off the goodies of their evil acts. She is the friend of Aloho. She actually was the one that through her statement and her testimony of Aloho got the employment in Chief Ade Amaka's chamber of the External Affairs Ministry. The next character I'll be talking about is Madame Hoha. Madame Hoha is the owner of the Akpara Hotel, which is secretly owned by Chief Ade Amaka. This hotel serves as a rendezvous in which all the cohorts of Chief Ade Amaka come there in order to carry out their secret and illicit activities for the betterment of their lives. Chief Ade Amaka, being their ringleader, comes there and then goes about with their various activities, employing those young ladies and young guys to do his bidding. Another character is Justice Odili. Justice Odili is the corrupt judge in the society. This shows that most of the judges we have in Nigeria actually answer to the whims and caprices of these politicians and these government officials. He answers to the whims and caprices of Chief Ade Amaka. Whenever he gets into trouble, he releases him without any problem meeting Chief Ade Amaka. Another character is Ogei. Ogei is the very close friend of Aloho. Ogei squats Aloho in order to help her in search of her job, her dream job. Aloho is a very good friend and a born again, a fervent friend of the faith Christianity. She is so fervent and she's so steadfast in her faith that she doesn't really allow Aloho to sway her from her Christendom. She is a good and a typical born again Christian. Another character is CP Andrew. CP Andrew is the police commissioner in charge of the police activities in Nigeria. He is a very corrupt police commissioner. He helps ACP. He helps Chief Adeamaka Aladu of his dealings. Anytime he has problems in the police, you see him going scot-free as a result of CP Andrew, who is the police commissioner, helping him out. Another character is ACP Yakubu. This is the eighth character I'm discussing. ACP Yakubu is a devoted detective in the police ministry. He is a patriotic and devoted officer. He seeks justice and he seeks fair treatment in society. He represents those that actually are honest and loyal in their jobs. And the last character I'll talk about is Ayo. Ayo is the lower rank officer in the Ministry of External Affairs. Through Ayo, we were able to get evidences that incriminate Chief Adeamaka Aladu during his trial. Ayo represents those that actually have that are vexed with all these political officials who embezzle money only for themselves. He is so vexed with Chief Adeamaka Aladu that he never gets anything, any tip from the embezzlement. So these are basically the characters we can find, the major characters we can find in Harvest of Corruption by Frank Ogbeche. In the next video, we'll be treating past questions from 2018 SSE. Hello, in this video, I'll be treating past questions from SSE, precisely 2018. And I've got two questions before me. The number one question is, comment on the proceedings of the Wasa High Court of Justice. Investigation began before Ogei's account of the bad attitude and bad activities of Chief Adeamaka Aladu and also the misfortune of Aloho. The investigation began from ACP Yakubu, who investigates and has been on the trail of Chief Adeamaka Aladu. I haven't heard of the embezzlement of the 1.2 billion naira in his Ministry of External Affairs. The charges against Chief Adeamaka Aladu are of 4 charges. First off is the embezzlement of 1.2 billion naira, and the second is 5.8 million naira embezzlement, which is missing from the external affairs which he handles. And also he faces charges of corruption and cocaine peddling. The prosecution began with the accounts and investigation taken by the police department headed by ACP Yakubu, who is an investigator and on the trail of Chief Adeamaka's handlings and activities in the society. And also the account of Ogei, who actually wanted to avenge the death of her very dear friend Aloho when giving birth to the baby belonging to Chief Adeamaka. All the testimonies and investigation with the proof given by Ogei actually made the judge to give a verdict, and the verdict actually satisfies the people present in the court. Chief Adeamaka Aladu was sentenced to 25 years imprisonment alongside his cohorts, who also got the sentences meted to them. The second question is, consider Aloho as a foil to Ogei. Aloho and Ogei are friends from university days. Both are pretty, very pretty. Aloho is dark in complexion, while Ogei is fair. Ogei secures a job in ABC company as a receptionist, while Aloho, who scores with Ogei, a very good friend, still looks out for a job. On getting a job with the Ministry of External Affairs under the supervision of Mr. Ade Aladu Amaka. She's so happy that she has gotten the job, but Oge, knowing that something is fishy with that employment, wants against that employment, but Aloho waves the way. So one can conclude that through the life of Aloho, we get to get the life of Oge. We get to know the attributes and the character of Oge. Without Aloho, there can never be a story of Oge. It was due to the story of Aloho and her activities we tend to understand that Oge is a very devoted Christian who is unwavering in her faith. She is so steadfast in her faith in Christ and in the Christendom that even with the misbehavior and the discouragement gotten from Aloho, she's still steadfast to her faith. So Aloho serves as a foil that actually brings down the attributes from Ogehi. So this is a way on how to answer such questions.